That is the Constitution. Absolutely. How's the volume? You picking me up? Perfect. So do you know what them guns are? Rather than me telling everybody, why don't you tell me what they are? Curious if you know. Have you ever read the Constitution? No, not an AK-47. It's a British L1A1, a BSA with the L1A2 optic. What, the Constitution? Yep. That's a shame. Yeah, the Constitution is definitely a study material for all students, all Americans. If you don't know what that is, then, you know, that piece of paper on the top is the exact reason these firearms are out, and it's also the exact reason why I can sit here and talk about it. From Mars, huh? Take me to your leader. Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to vote for you, especially if you want to change the Constitution. Stifler, what's going on? Should I leave that troll with the bald head there? Doesn't know what a Constitution is? Joe, what's going on? Nothing, man. I'll leave you, sir, but don't say stupid shit. If you're legitimately running for office and your first word is I want to change the Constitution, you don't even belong here. You swear an oath to uphold the Constitution, not to change it or alter it for your own personal gratification. It's a Mac 10. Mac 10 is Mac 11. The Mac 10 is a 45 ACP. That's a 9mm. I think the vast majority of the voting Republic voted for Mr. President Trump. Orange Smoke, how you doing? Figured everybody always asks about the Desert Eagle and the Mac 11, so I figured I'd show them. And we busted out the BSA L1A1. Everybody's got a Glock. I think that's, well, maybe not everybody. There's a lot of people that have Tauruses, but yeah, I got a couple Glocks. I got a few. I don't regret me voting for Trump at all. I voted for him 3 separate times, not in the same election, but yeah. I don't know what a BP-50 is. I have a Barrett. I have a Barrett 50. If you go back to the last live, you'll see that. No, I don't have an M60. He hasn't given any more money to Israel than any other president, and in fact, I think what he's done has been pretty remarkable. Gas prices will drop. Nothing happens overnight. So the gray gun on the very bottom, the Shadow 2, that's 9 millimeter. The gun third up from the bottom is 9 millimeter. Well, Clorox, I don't really want to boot you, but you say stupid shit like that, and I'm gonna definitely boot you. Shermans, because there was 58,000 of them made in World War II. In less than 3 years, the United States um, populace manufactured over 58,000 Sherman tanks. Now, the reason I know that, if you're curious, I'll answer that. It's not white, it's actually gray. It's probably just the lighting. Well, sir, if you ask why I have guns, look up at the document in the very top of the table there, and it says, "We the people." That's the reason. That's the reason I have firearms. That's the little piece of paper that people like to call the American Constitution. Every amendment counts. There's some that I'm not. Yeah, later Clorox. There's some that I'm not super fond of in there, but um, the basic Constitution is. I mean, if you guys have never really sat down and read it, you should. I went to Washington D.C. a few years back. Actually, it was in 2008. Um, my oldest was trying to quote the Constitution to me when he was in elementary school, and I'm like, "Come on!" And we packed our shit, and I took him to Washington D.C. and I made him go in the Hall of Records and read the entire Constitution right there. And he looked at me with these big eyes, and he's like, "Man, that's not what they're teaching us. That's what it says right there. The document I have in front of you is one page of it, and I actually bought that in DC." No, none of these were used in World War II. The oldest gun up here would be the second pistol from the bottom, and that's a 1952. It's BSA, British Small Arms. It's a L1A1 with a L1A2 suit optic. Yeah, I that hangs in my office. I got the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, um, a couple other documents from history. Obviously, it's not real, but that's a lot of people don't realize how big of even piece of paper was written on. Riffraff, I don't know if you ever went in any of my videos and left a comment so I can find your channel. If you do that, I'll check out your channel if you got stuff posted. Ma'am, I appreciate you stopping by. Double tap that screen for me if you haven't dipped out yet. Do you have anywhere TI test them? I don't know what that means. I don't know what you mean by a sniper either. A sniper rifle is just a precision rifle. Any firearm that's used for precision is technically a sniper rifle. SLR, no, it's the L1A1. It's the actually that was imported into America in like 1962. It's a real British small arms. It's not a kick gun. It's not um, uh, not a kick gun. It's not a parts kit. It wasn't, a receiver that somebody assembled. That was an imported rifle, just like that. Taurus, I appreciate it. Why don't you give that screen a double tap? I've checked out your channel a few times. Reaper, I was actually looking at your channel this morning off of Ammo Alchemists. I think I left you a comment there. Yeah, of course they're trash guns. Yeah, I appreciate that, Reaper. Hit that double tap that screen. So I was gonna bust out my black powder rifle too, and I picked up the L1A one to move it, and I'm like, oh, everybody asks about it anyway. We'll just stick it out here. I will check it out. The Gun Gamer. If you just got to go in one of my shorts, go to the last short I posted, leave a comment there. That way I can find your channel. I can't look up your channel while I'm on a live, right? And once I close out of this live, all these comments that are being posted are gone. I would love to check out everybody's channel here. You leave me a comment, I'll check your channel out. If you got content, I'll subscribe. Well, from what I'm seeing, Orange Smoke, I think you're probably the guy to do that. I'm pretty impressed with what you've shown already. I don't know what low quality, high quality means. It's not a poster. That's a copy of the United States Constitution. Yeah. I don't know if they think I'm fronting, but man, I I really enjoy being able to connect with people that share the same hobbies or interests. And anybody thinks I'm just talking shit. I'm not. You know, I'll gladly check out people's channel and I'm gonna ask questions. Some of them you might not like the way I ask or whatever, but I'm not trying to be a dick or offensive about it. But I really enjoy having conversations. Um, so if you ever get a weird question or I throw a comment out there, don't be offended. Let's have a conversation about it. That's a L1A2 suit optic. That's the military issue BS British issued rifle optic. It's kind of a crazy thing. For me being left-handed, I can't really shoot the rifle with that on there. It's actually canted to the right side a little bit. So when I shoot that gun, which I don't really shoot it. Nothing special about it really, but I'll take it off and I'll just use iron sights. All right, man. I will check out your channel for sure. What kind of stuff do you have posted on there? I see the Gun Gamer life. Are you talking like USPSA? Or are you talking video games? And you don't have to answer. I'll find out later, right? If not tonight, it'll be tomorrow. Yeah, I look forward to it. Um, Everybody should have a copy of the Constitution in school. Most most Americans should have a copy too, and for no other reason. When somebody starts saying some stupid shit, you bust that out. It should maybe we should start like hydro dipping baseball bats. Hey, Orange Smoke, I'm onto something. Stifler, if you're still here, I got the plug for you. Do some baseball bats with hydro dipping of the Constitution. Sell them on your site. There's $1 million idea if anybody's listening. Baseball bat, hydro dip the Constitution onto it, so it says "We the People." And yeah, anybody that has questions, man, whammo, right upside the head. You know, I should be doing that myself. That's actually a really good idea. Stiffy bat, yeah, stiffy bat. All my hope is in you, Stifler. You are our plug. Yeah, it would be a really cool idea. Even on firearms, how come nobody hydro dips a firearm in the Constitution? That'd be badass too. There's another $1 million idea for you. You'd sell it. Fuck, a lot of people would buy it just to have it. How badass would one of them slides be of yours if it had the hydro dip in the Constitution? Not a stencil, not Cerakoted, but a hydro dip. Hydro dip holds up really, really well. It's been used for decades, right? Um, you, you didn't say what your channel is about, but you don't have to. I'll check it out. On the slide, I think it would last okay. Or if you ever get into producing frames, it would hold up on there. I've seen a few guns where they do, like Auto Ordnance does that. Thompson says "We the People" and has Trump on it and stuff. But I think a baseball bat with some the Constitution on it would be wild. That'd be cool. I don't hydro dip, but maybe we need to get somebody to do that. It's a Mac 9. That's the 9 millimeter. You may not know this though. I used to have a shop. You might have heard me talk about it, but I used to do. My big claim to fame was Duracoat. Uh, I really like Cerakote, but when you spray Duracoat right, it lasts as long or longer. You've seen some of the camo guns, like that camo Glock I have. That was all Cerakoted, back in like 2006, 2007. I'll have to check them out. I mean, I'm gonna keep telling you I'm checking it out and I'm doing all this stuff and I'm not buying anything. I will at some point. I just got to get through the shooting season. We're just over 5 weeks away from shooting season, and it's expensive for everybody. But for me, I have 3 kids I pay for too, so it's a sponsor, right? I pay for all the fuel, which is one vehicle, not a big deal, but all the ammunition, all the gear, the food, all that, plus match fees, plus practice. I got a huge expense when it comes to shooting. Um, Much easier when it's just yourself, but I definitely want to check out. Um, Actually, get one of your slides. It'll be towards the end of summer. I'm gonna guess probably end of August, September. So don't feel like you're not getting any support back, because I absolutely will. It's just gonna be a little bit. So I have to order bullets this next week, and we'll start with 10,000. Um, Zelensky, you know what, man? Uh, that should be enough of a reaction. What I think. Yeah, I was talking to you, um, but I'll check it out. I'll do you solid on that. Yeah, well, I mean, I know for a fact a couple other guys have been on. I saw you on Patriot Arms channel the other night, so you're gonna get traction. Um, just don't forget about us little guys when you get up to the top. Did it? Post some images on it on your page. I'd like to check that out. All right. I'll check it out. If not yet tonight, it'll be tomorrow. I do a lot of my scrolling when I'm at work. I get downtime in between um, tests that I do. So I usually have like 20 minutes to kill till I get my next one. For competition, I don't right now because I shoot open. And even with powder coating them, it causes problems. Either the powder coat will come off in the comp, or I push it too fast and it doesn't stay on. For my kids, I don't have them shooting any lead. Everything I run with them is a full encapsulated bullet. No, exposed base. I do like to use berries with them because it's plated. Really helps cut down that lead contamination. Your kids, right? You can't really be exposed them to a bunch of lead, and we shoot a lot. Um, when I shoot my minor, like when I was shooting my Glock or when I shoot my PCC, I shoot my cast lead in that. And I run 125 grain. It's um, a lead tumble lube round nose, and I cast them and then I powder coat them. I should do some videos on it. It's kind of cool. I just haven't done any in quite a while, and mainly because I'm running that open gun. But berries is actually a pretty good bullet, believe it or not. So like a 9 millimeter, when you buy full metal jackets, they're usually 0.355. Berries, because it's a plated and it's soft, they size them to 0.356. They, for like 9 millimeter, they are velocity sensitive, but they can go like 115. Any of them can go up to 1,250 feet per second. Um, and I mean, you're not pushing a 115 or a 124 past that, and definitely not a 147, unless you're shooting an open and then you're pushing at 1,500 feet per second. So that bullet's no go for open, but they shoot well. Um, it's not as good as some big name brands, but for the cost and for what they are, they shoot well. I've always liked them. You do, yeah, you do back your load off. I think about 10%. So if your maximum load in the book is 4.2 grains, you load to 4 grains. But I'll tell you what, I run right to the book, what the book says. We crown all our stuff, and um, I've never had an issue with berries. They shoot really well. We were, up until this last January, we were able to buy berries locally, and we were getting 124 grains, a box of 1,000 for $80, and we were getting the 147 for, I think it was like $90. And so for which gun, in 9 millimeter major, I use either Accurate number 7 or I use HS6. They're my two go-tos. I really like HS6. And for my pistol loads, I generally use tight group, or if I'm doing IDPA where power factor is not as big of a deal, I'll run 231. I have some of the Winchester 244. That's okay. For my son's gun, I'm still burning up an 8-pound jug of CFE for him, but he likes it. To me, it has a little more recoil. It definitely makes, it's a faster powder. It makes that bullet move. I like soft, but I mean, I have everything down there you could think of. I got some unique. I got HS6. I got 231, 244, CFE, Accurate number 5, Accurate number 7, Accurate number 9. And there's more. I can't even think of what's all down there. Depend on when we shoot like Steel Challenge with the PCC, I have to use a real slow powder. Them 16-inch barrels, we've had squibs in them, and on a healthy load, as they run out of steam, like the faster powders like Tight Group, isn't such a great idea for long barrels. Um, and anything with a comp, like for my daughter, I'll be loading her HS6. No, it's a British small arms, so it's a British firearm. What's the best for you, KA or FN? I don't know what KA means. You talking AR-15s, Knights Armament, or FN? You don't ever mix powders, ever. And honestly, if so, the rule is when you even change powder, primers, or bullets, you should be rechronoing your loads to make sure everything stays the same. Because from batch to batch, powders can burn differently, and so can primers, and so can bullets, right? The different sizing on them will increase velocity. Um, no, the Mac 11. I don't know why I said. Somebody asked earlier. No, it's not a Mac 9. It's a Mac 11. No, it runs. Yep, that's a Desert Eagle. Yeah, mixing powders is bad. Even if they have like on the same powder, you have different batches. You generally don't mix them. It's you can yeah, my bad too. Somebody asked, I said Mac 9. No, it's a Mac 11. What do you mean how many rounds? How many rounds are through the gun? I have no idea. I've owned the gun for a very long time. I can tell you I've shot it enough that I had to order, if you're familiar with the internals on them, they have a rubber buffer in the back. And I actually, this last year, I had to order a new buffer because it disintegrated. What's the name of name of two from the bottom? The second one from the bottom is a Ruger Mark 1. That's the first year of production, a super low serial number. I was in a gun store and we were buying something, and a guy came in with that Ruger and another old beat up gun, and dude was old. Had to be in his 60s, and it actually belonged to his dad. His dad had bought it brand new, and the gun is, I mean, you can see it. It's in phenomenal shape, right? And he sold it, dude. He got it was $250 or anything of firearms. I am not, but he had no interest in having it, and he sold it. I mean, it wasn't a bad price for what it is, but considering the condition, first year production, it's not a collector's item, but it's a really, really nice shooting gun. Super nice trigger. Really nice gun. You guys double hit that screen, double tap it, get some likes on this video. The diddler. Oh man, I'm all right. How are you? Not gonna have any freaky shit going on here. Well, maybe. You know. I have no idea what you're trying to say, my guy. Yeah. So I never bought one until this one because again, I'm left-handed, man. You know what I mean? So the safety's on the wrong side for me. But when I had my shop, I can't tell you how many people would bring them in because they couldn't get them back together. And it's an art form. Not fun. Sucks. The new ones we have, my daughter has that 2245 light. That thing's super easy. I have that Black Mamba, that Vakorstrin, and same thing. It's just you push a little pin, gun hinges open. It's super super easy. But the old Rugers, man, even the new ones, they are really good shooters. They're incredible. I have a couple 1911s and 45 ACP. Uh, they're nice shooting pistols. I'm not a big fan of these like $300 Rock Islands or The cheaper ones, you do get what you pay for. But yeah, I didn't know you had a black mamba. Maybe you told me that. I apologize if I missed it. But I have mine on my channel. My daughter actually shot it a little bit. So her and I both shot a steel challenge. I wanted her to use her pistol with the red dot, and she wanted to shoot that Glock 44, so she started out with it, and man, it didn't go so good with her. And I ended up letting her use my black mamba. I just stopped shooting that for the other gun. Um, but man, she shoots the black mamba really well, really, really well. And I don't have an optic on. I just have iron sights. Um, I haven't put hands on a Garrison. I've seen them, but I haven't handled them. They look all right. I like the texture, and in the slide, the rear cock insertions. It's not a straight. It's like that fish scaly type look. I do like that. I am too. That Scorpion, the Scorpion X optics only. I think I'm not going to do any more this year. Like I said, my budget's already planned out. But I do want to get one. But I'll get the 4-inch. Yeah, there's a couple 9mm up there. Yeah, fish scale. Not that kind of fish scale, if that's what you're thinking. Yeah, I'm gonna pick one of them up too. That's one of them things, man. You know, they're expensive, but you are getting what you pay for. It's people. I don't know. I think I offend a lot of people when I start talking about budget firearms. That's the Black Mambas or the Volkorstrons. They're not budget, but there's value there. You know, it's not for everybody. Obviously, in that price point to them, it's not for everybody out there to own. But if you're serious about shooting, if you really want to have a nice gun, if you want to have something, this is where I'm at nowadays. If you want to have something that's worth having later, uh, or holding value maybe for your kids, then you buy something quality from the start that holds its value. You know. Well, trickling down on a scale, I'm assuming you're talking reloading. Uh, Trickling up is harder because you deal with tenths of a grain. It's easier to have a trickler. I have just a small manual one we use for rifle rounds, and we trickle onto the pan onto the scale. To me, that's the way I like to do it. When you start dipping into a tray of powder and trying to be precise, it's I got the longer one just for the velocity. It runs a little faster, and for steel challenge, a lot of people like the shorter ones. I wanted the extra velocity for them 45-yard shots. Um, I can't say which one's better because I never put hands on a 4-inch, but I do know that if I buy another one or I buy that Scorpion X, it'll be a 4-inch, not a 6-inch. I do. I have a Sega 12, and I have a Benelli M1. It's funny you're talking about that Stoger. I was in a conversation. I was in somebody's live. It's Patriot Arms, and somebody asked about shotguns, and we all said the same thing. Get a Benelli. If you want it for tactical, get a Benelli M4. Um, I mean, throughout the Mossberg 590, the Jerry Micklick, and I threw in there because I didn't know what this guy's budget is. I said, take a look at the Stoger. I said, bang for your buck. The Stoger right now is probably the best bang for your buck on the market. And Stoger is owned by Beretta. Beretta owns Benelli, Stoger, a bunch of other companies. It's not a bad gun, you know. So take that for what it's worth. Yeah, they're a decent pistol too. They're affordable. There's a difference between a cheap and a budget firearm and an affordable firearm, and it's not the same. You know, it's a L1A1 though. It's not a FAL. Um, the 97B is nice. How much for the Parabellum? Well, Parabellum, you mean 9mm, right? 9mm Parabellum. So you have to specify the firearm. You can call the cops. Knock your socks off. Make sure you give them your name uh, and your address so they know who to come talk to for obstruction of justice, because falsifying police reports or false accusations will get you arrested. So knock your socks off on that. So I don't like the Palmetto State Armory dagger. I bought one for my middle son, and we took it out and we shot it, and it bulges the brass to the point where it's almost bursting the brass. The chamber on the gun is extremely out of spec. I mean, like way out of spec. And I tried contacting this company at least a dozen times by email, a dozen different times by voicemail. Call, sit on hold, leave a voicemail. My wife tried contacting them, and I was talking to my son last night. He even emailed them. These cocksuckers never returned a single fucking message. So I have a Palmetto dagger, and it's absolute dog shit. Fucking go buy one of them Ruger RXMs. You're better off with that. Uh, that's at least made by Ruger. Ruger has a great company. You know, they're not going to give you a shit about warranty. If something's not right, they'll fix it. PSA, they're just taking your money and running. They're gypsies, man. So I am too, because I thought it would be a cool gun. The price was right for him just to get a compact. I thought give him something to start playing with, and we took it out, and it's not. I wouldn't even say it's safe to shoot. I could put a bit different barrel in it, but any decent barrels cost the gun and then some. So I'm not going to waste my effort. I'm not sure what you mean about modded, but um, GunTube channels. I'm gonna say this for you guys in case you don't know this, and it just came out again. But the ATF monitors GunTube. They put it through algorithms. AI watches it. So when people are on here just randomly chatting about stuff that could get you in trouble, um, just know that there is people watching, right? Yeah. Only Keltec I have or have ever owned is that KSG. Um, and I bought that because my middle son liked it for whatever reason. And we took it out, and he took it out a couple times right away and shot slugs and buckshot and some turkey loads. And actually, he hasn't touched it since we shot the 3-inch Nitro Mag turkey loads. But I mean, it's kind of a cool gun, but I'm not a fan of it. I wouldn't M1As. Is that what you're talking about? So M1 would be the M1 Grand, M1 Grease Gun, M1 Machine, Brown and Machine Gun. I assume you're talking the M1A. M1A. That's my guess. And again, if you're saying an AR-15 is more accurate than an M1A, some can be and some aren't. You know. Yeah, the ATF doesn't knock. What shadow system did you get? I bought one for my daughter a couple weeks ago. I got her the MR 920p Elite. I can tell you guys this, you younger guys especially, the AR-15s you're buying now aren't the same AR-15s um, people were buying 10, 15, 20 years ago. They don't shoot the same. They're not as accurate as they were. Uh, Overall quality on companies has dropped. I mean, it used to be next to impossible to find an AR-15 that shot more than one MOA, and now you're lucky to buy any off the shelf that's at least a 2 MOA gun. The CR 920, that's the Glock 17 size, right? I'm not real familiar with their numbers. Yeah, spend the money on a good barrel and a good bolt. Make sure head space is out, and you usually get a good gun. So I do own the Shadow 2, obviously, but I own um, CZ SPO1 Tactical, SPO1 Competition. I have a PCR. I have a Tactical Sport Orange. I have a Tactical Sport Orange 2 in 9mm, a Tactical Sport Orange 2 in 40 cal, and 2 checkmates. So if you got any questions about them, I'd be glad to help you. What I would say is if you're not going to shoot competition, the Tactical Sport Orange 2 probably isn't the choice for just a range gun. The Dan Wesson DWX would beat it, but if you're going to shoot competition, the Tactical Sport Orange 2 is where it's at. Just make sure you get it in 40 cal so you're scored major, not minor. Nickel boron is hard. I mean, that's one of their selling points is how hard it is. Uh, what I noticed in a couple bull carriers I have is, yeah, you're going to have a hard time finding them. Is they eat the gas rings alive. I mean, they just chew them right up. And I've seen more wear in my upper receivers in the rifles that have the nickel boron bulk carriers versus non. Um, so what Bong Sloth? Go on my channel and leave a message in one of the shorts or something so I can find your channel. But are you if you're being competitive? Let's see for minor power factor. So carry optics is only scored minor power factor, so you don't have to worry about that. Uh, we'll see if I think D Dog sent me a text message. I didn't see what it was. Kind of depends what you want. I don't shoot carry optics. I just set up a Tactical Sport Orange for my son for limited optics. Why not practice at school? Well, don't be retarded. George, how are you? I partially lied to you. I only brought one of the black powder guns out. I picked the L1A one up, and I had it in my hand, so I just brought that one out here. So, and I assume you guys play video games, so some of these you'll recognize at least, right? You'll recognize the L1A one. You'll recognize the Desert Eagle. You'll recognize the Mac 11. Yeah. So at our city rec department, they shut it down a while back, but there's still an indoor range there. I mean, people don't realize that used to be a thing. You know, when I was in school, we took shotguns on the bus. We'd go hunting afterwards. They never said nothing. We'd take them right in the office for like archery. We'd bring our bows to school. My oldest, when he was in middle school and high school, he'd walk to school because he's only a few blocks from the middle school. He'd walk to school with a shotgun, take it into the liaison's officer, obviously in a case, take it into liaison officers, and after school they'd put it on the bus and they'd go shoot trap. He was on a trap team for middle school and high school. You know, and I don't live in like some little backwoods area. I live in a pretty big area. Well, that's a pretty impressive shot. Yeah, if he says something else stupid, he's gonna get the old timeout routine. I hate kicking people out, man. That's lame. It's lame that people still say stupid shit like that. Yeah, I mean, so in my state that I live, there's no firearm registration. The Shadow 2, for what it is a great firearm. Most people would, most shooters, a Shadow 2 is all they'll ever need. Even for the guys that are starting to shoot competition, a Shadow 2 is a very competitive firearm. Um, I like it. That's why I own one. However, uh, I have the next versions up, which are the Tactical Sport Oranges, the Tactical Sport Orange 2s, and Checkmates, and I enjoy them a little bit more. Um, the Shadow 2, and this is where that harshness is going to come in, and I argue with people all the time. The Shadow 2 is CZ's entry level, budget minded competition pistol. That's their competition gun. Now, I'm not saying it's cheap, and I'm not saying it's not great, but I am saying that's the starting point for their competition pistols. For concealed carry, it's not the gun for you. It's heavy. I mean, it's, I don't know, it's a little lighter than Desert Eagle, but it's about the same. I mean, it's just a brick in your pocket. So you're never going to carry that for concealed carry. A range toy, if all you wanted it for was a range toy, you wouldn't be disappointed with it all. It's a fabulous gun. I use the Double Alpha Racer XI. They have the removable blocks, so I have the block for a TSO, and that takes the same one for the Checkmate. It is an original suit. Um, and I also have a Glock insert, and I need to order a 2011 insert. And then my middle son has the same setup. He's right-handed, I'm left-handed. But I got the Tactical Sport insert. I got TSO2 insert for him, and he's got a Glock insert. Carpenter, how are you doing? Yeah, something a little different. I try to shake it up. That's not the gun if you want to EDC it. Um, so there's a lot of great CZs. Even the SPO ones, if you're going to carry that concealed every day, even the SPO ones are a little on the heavy side. So do they have actual sanction matches there too? Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you want to shoot optics on a gun? Because you can use the Shadow 2 for carry optics. You can use it for limited optics. You can shoot production with it, and you can shoot limited with it. So one gun opens you up to 4 divisions. Production is 10 round capacity. Carry optics, I think, is all 15. I don't shoot carry optics. But if that's what you wanted to buy it for, absolutely. The cool thing about the Shadow 2 is the trigger is decent, the sights are decent. Um, yeah, so the same gun would open you up to carry optics or limited optics. I'm sure you know the difference, but carry optics, you have to manually decock the hammer and start with hammer down, so it's going to be double action first shot, single action after that. And then limited optics, you just lock and cock it, cock and lock it, I should say. So you'd start and everything would be single action. Canadian, dude, you guys have some, you guys can get some stuff we can't. It's cool with Canada, and you guys may not realize this being up there, but our minimum rifle barrel length is 16 inches. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that Canada's minimum rifle length is 14 inches. So you guys can have shorter barrels than we can. The Tactical Sport Orange, yeah, they're single action only. So, give you an idea, the trigger breaks on the Shadow 2 at 3 pounds. That's bone stock. The double action in it, I want to say is like 7 or 7.5. So it's heavy and it's long. The single action's great, but now in the Tactical Sport Orange that my son shoots, it's just a little under 2 pounds. My Tactical Sport Orange 2, it came in from the factory, no work done to it. It's 1 3/4 pounds. So, uh, so that'd be pretty badass. There you go. Um, well, it's definitely not a Glock. Uh, one thing people don't realize with Glocks being a polymer frame gun, they eat up a lot of felt recoil. A steel frame gun, you'll feel it more. I was waiting for you to chime in. I didn't want to throw you out there, but yeah, you saw that. Um, but yeah, a steel frame. The other weird thing is, and you don't really notice it in a Glock, is in a Shadow 2 or any metal gun, actual all metal gun, at the end of a stage, especially if it's a high round count stage, the gun gets hot. Polymer gun, you don't feel that heat. Um, my checkmate after a good stage, I mean, you damn near burn yourself, but that's shooting 9mm major. It's got some power behind it. I appreciate it, Carpenter. More than you know. Like I tell you every time, if you go to the channel, if I haven't been on your channel, if you haven't seen me subscribe, it's because I can't find your channel after the live. Hit the short, leave a comment in it, and I will go to your channel. I'll recognize the name, right? And I will go to your channel. So for major, I run um, what I prefer. My preferred load, my favorite load, is HS6 with a 115 grain RMR, and then I run it's 9.9 grains, and it makes just over 1,500 feet per second. The second powder I'll use is accurate number 9. Accurate number 9, and that's almost the same powder, or not same powder, but same load. I think I load that at like 9.6 grains, 9.5 grains, and the same velocity. I'm not a big fan of the 124s, but I played last year with a lot of different bullet weights. When I first got my checkmate, I was using 124s. And what I found going to a 115 is they don't shoot as accurate, but they're accurate enough, right? It's shooting plenty accurate to hit A zones and headshots. But what I found going to the 115 is you're loading a lot more powder. So it makes the comp work a lot better. The gun actually feels a lot softer and shoots a lot smoother. Um, yeah, you're right. I can't fist fight at all. I'm just, you know, that type of guy. Not much. It's a Pieta. Um, I don't remember what year it was. It's old. It's a match gun. It was made for their competition. It's got the octagon barrel. It's 45 um, bore diameter. Uh, I mean, it's black powder, ball and cap. Not That's about as much as I know. Oh, I mean, I guess you'd have to be ready to see some shit like that. at Washington. Something about them potheads, man. All these potheads are that peace, love, and happiness, but I don't know. No, it's not transferable. I scroll through, and a couple of weeks ago I was scrolling through and I came across the dude, and I think on my C channel I actually screen recorded this guy. But picture he wasn't a skinny guy. He was bigger, wearing high, like I think they were pink or red high heels, and then a bright red skirt with his shirt tucked up like that Daisy Duke, how she'd pull her shirt up and through her cleavage, and he's dancing around like this. And I admit, at first I instantly scrolled off of it, and I had to go back and watch it. And I watched it for a few seconds, and I was appalled. I was disgusted, but I was mildly intrigued. What would possess somebody to do that? So I liked the video. I mean, I gave it a double tap and whatever, and but what the fuck? Is that eagle 3D print? No, it's a Desert Eagle, man. Oh, I told you I was curious. It just intrigued me. What kind of freak show did I see? It's like this, right? You're going down the road and you see a car turned over, rolled over. I mean, you all look, you know what's wrong, but you look anyway. You're like, what the fuck is that train wreck? You know? Yeah, I mean, the lives now have gotten weird. Have you guys seen the one? I don't know the name of this channel, but it's a big black woman, and she's always got these little dolls, and she sits there and talks to them. I I don't know what that is. It like legitimately concerns me. I don't know if y'all seen it, if it's just weird shit that pops in mind, but every time I'll stop and like, what the fuck? Like, I don't think she's like retarded or mentally handicapped. I think it's just some weirdo, you know. Walmart's crazy place. You see the craziest shit at Walmart. I uh I was I am I was how can I say it? I was really proud of myself last year towards the end of summer. I went to Walmart, and I went there. I was going to get stuff for supper, but that was the first time I'd been in a Walmart in probably 10 years. And I struggle with that stuff. My anxiety really starts kicking in, that whole PTSD thing. And I'm like, I got this, I got this. And we went in. My son's like, just kind of looking at me, waiting. And I'm like, I got this. We went and grabbed a few things in the cart. And man, I was in there all of about 10 minutes. And I started sweating, and I had to leave. I couldn't do it. Uh, it was a little too much. Yeah, but that Walmart's not right. So I've never shot the 5.45 in like anything other than an AKM, the AK-74. So I can't say in that. I think I think in the AK-74 I had a SAR 3 AK for a while. That was 223.556. I think that probably had a little more recoil, but either one of them calibers is really soft. Um, Incidentally, 223/556 is my favorite caliber, uh, or chamber in any AK platform. Oh, yeah, man. That's It, you know what the fucked up thing, dude? Orange smoke. Man, these guys make that conscious effort. I mean, they're looking at themselves in a mirror, going, "How ridiculous can I be?" You know, uh, who in their right mind says, "I want to dress like that and go to Walmart"? I mean, clearly that guy, and clearly like all these other people. It's, it's just, it's weird. I'm not one for big crowds. The gun store I go to, it's there's usually only a few people in there, and I don't stay long. Um, I'll go to our fleet farm. I'll go in there, but I go specifically for what I'm going there. I don't go and wander around a store. Or if I gotta go like Harbor Freight, same thing. I'll go right in, right out. But I don't go to stores. I don't go to concerts or big outdoor shit like that. I can't. I'm cool at the gun range. Maybe being armed helps. Uh, I mean, granted, you conceal carry, but I don't know. It just I have a hard time with crowds like that. Even like my kids' concerts and shit or whatever. I I have a hard time making it the whole way. I usually have to leave early. Hello from Ireland. Eh, Not so much. It's heavy. It's long, and it's black powder. So it's like 40 grains of double F on just a round ball. I don't remember even what the weights are. I could go look, but I'd have to look for them. Um, Peter Pan, I missed. Unless you didn't say, I missed where you're from. Yeah, they're my happy places too. Is he there with you, Spencer? Well, from Scotland. I appreciate it, collection. Do you like watermelon? No, I'm not. I'm not a watermelon type person. Oh, you're in the Netherlands? Yeah, they're pretty anti-gun too. I don't think you can have any firearms. Shotguns though, right? You guys can have shotguns. Huh. I That'd be weird that they were undersized. I mean, they're all mil spec. I'm not going to carry a Micro 9, but I do have a Smith& Wesson Bodyguard. So that's the hammerless. Uh, I do. I have carried that. That I have one of them little pocket holsters for. I don't know if I could. I wouldn't feel right even trying to say what the best weapon is because it depends on what you're doing with it. It depends what it's being used for and what context. Did you say did you say it was the gas port in the barrel that was undersized? I thought you said the ejection port. Maybe I read that wrong. No, that one I have both barrels for it. I have the 44 Magnum and I have the 50 Action Express. I don't shoot the 50 Action Express, uh, but we shoot the 44 Magnum. It's a fun gun in 44. I like the gun. It's obviously the 38 Special 5 shot. It's got the little laser on the side, which for me being left, that's one firearm that works good left-handed because the cylinder release is on top of the frame where the hammer would be, and then the laser for it with the on button for the laser is right where my thumb would be on the right hand side of the frame. So I actually really like the Bodyguard. It's not a fun gun to like target shoot, but what I keep in there, I keep 38 Special plus Ps, and they're Federal Hydroshocks. So it's a stout round. Bodyguard. So I like I said, I missed. Were you talking the gas port in the barrel, or were you talking the ejection port in the receiver? Drilling in a barrel to open up a gas port's no big deal. They should be sized at point. What is it? Uh, I can't even think of it. I was gonna tell you the gas port. Yeah, that ain't a big deal to open that up. Honestly, you're better off. You're better off with starting out with it being small anyway, as then you can step it up, use some drill bits and just step it up slowly. And unless you want to just go all in, then you oversize and call it good. But um, I missed the 380 orange smoke. If you stuff was scrolling, if you said something before that, I missed it. I'm sorry. Oh, the Bodyguard, the 380. Yeah. So my Smith and Wesson is the Bodyguard too, but it's a 38 Special. Took me a second to figure it out. The Bodyguard 2.0, yeah. So yeah, it's. I mean, clearly you know it's. I know it's not the same gun. So, yep, I misunderstood you. My apologies. Thought you said they couldn't have any guns there. The optic is a suit L1A2. No, that's a Mark One. It's a Ruger. So it's got variable magnification. I don't even know. I think it's like 2 power to 6 power. It's a lot like the Trijicons, or the ACOGs, right? Where the little lever, you can see maybe you can't see it. You see the writing on the right side of the optic. There's a lever there, and it's a cam lever. Um, Actually, I could even be wrong on that one. I think that one is fixed power. We have another one similar to that. It's got a magnification. I don't think this one does. I think it is fixed power, and I don't know what it is. The Elcon's the same thing. They have um, the lever to switch magnification, but the ACOGs do too. I don't know if they all do. Ones we had, you could flip them. Yeah, Peter Pan. See you later. Um, Double tap that screen. It's possible I'm wrong. It's been a long time since I messed with one. I have ARs. Yep. If I'm wrong, I mean I stand corrected. But uh, Hmm. Like I said, it's been a long time since I played with one. It's not something I own, and um, wasn't something I used. There you go. You'll get there, man. Hey, give you a little shout out since you're here. Any still watching? Um, Orange Smoke M7. He just started posting on his channel. Like he just said, he's up to 39 subs. Consider checking him out. He's got some pretty cool shit on there already. Um, I saw your first video. It did really good. But remember, I was telling you that that first video or two, when people drop them, I mean, does exceptionally well. And that's that YouTube algorithm. They it gets, the longer you do it, the tougher it gets because they start putting you in like well, they put you in a group, right? So if you have all gun content, and it's not just like all content, they start like categorizing you, and you can tell when people that watch your videos are on because that's when your videos do shit. But um, yeah, it gets tough. You're gonna be there for a while. That 500 to 1,000. Uh, but then, randomly out of the blue, you get videos that you don't think will do anything and they take off, and then other videos that, I mean, are like really good and like cool, right? They don't do anything. On new channels, uh, getting a bunch of shares on a video helps. If you have a short that people watch repeatedly, so you get that loop, that helps a lot too. And then I know that on a newer channel, the shorts, the under like 10-second ones seem to usually do better too. A lot of times adding music or sound clips really help. And you'll see these like, if you're in Memphis, you need one of these, or um, any one of them stupid sound clips. They're lame, but use them. Just know that you're doing it for a purpose. Your the sound clips push your stuff to a wider audience, and when you get a wider audience, you get more subscribers. More subscribers equals more views. So it's a game. I'm still playing that game. You know, I when I think I got their shit figured out, or the best times to post, or this or that, it all goes out the window. It's so hit or miss. Stifler, I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping in. Man, go make that money. Think about that bat. We gotta get some hydro dip baseball bats with the Constitution. I think that's $1 million idea. Yeah, I mean, you can go get a gun as long as you're, you know, an American citizen. You're able to complete stiff bat. Yeah, I'm telling you. See, you got you two products for your product line. That's that's how a lot of people record their stuff. More times than not, that's what I do. I do have a couple cameras, and I don't know. The stuff I do on the cameras, I've never been real happy with. For whatever reason, the phone actually works pretty good. Um, all right, Carpenter, I appreciate it. Thanks for showing him support. Did you go on my channel and leave a message there so I can find your channel? Yeah, no, I'm not giving you any of my stuff, man. That's like asking me if I can come over and fuck your girlfriend, right? Or mom. Just if you want one, go get one. Mine are mine. Watching from Jamaica. Yeah, dude. Someday at SHOT Show or on TFB or something, he's gonna be being interviewed on what inspired him to create the stiff bat. $1 billion idea. And he's gonna be like, well, there I was. Listen to this schmuck. No personality. Big ego. I think it'd be cool, man. I'd buy one just because. Respect the Constitution or get it upside your head. We could market it as a way to convey what the Constitution means. If they don't believe in firearm rights, then they're cool getting hit upside the head with a bat. I'd order one too. As long as it wasn't like $100. $50 or less, I'm in. Maybe a little bit more, because if it's a decent bat, it'd be a little bit more. It'd be cool. It legitimately would be cool. A month from now, we're gonna see some guy have a website selling them too. And we're all gonna be like, damn, another one, missed the boat on that. It'd be cool though. It absolutely would be. You'd see it on people's gun walls. You know what I mean? I'm into this. I think that's a great idea. If I wasn't so unmotivated to be an entrepreneur, maybe that would be a good place to do it. That'd be something you'd be able to sell all over too. No, I'm not familiar with that documentary. Yeah, we're part of the technical team. We'll wait for Stifler to get big and then we'll request our royalties. No, it's not full auto. It's Mac 11. Well, okay, I guess. Well, I don't live in a war zone and I'm not a woman. But if you think that owning a firearm somehow means what? I don't own firearms because I'm afraid of somebody causing harm on me or that I have to cause harm. I own firearms because I enjoy shooting. So, I mean, you may not understand that, but I'm sure you probably collect Pokemon cards, right? Kind of the same, right? Yeah, I have no idea what that all meant, Orange Smoke. Yeah. Yeah, what? Yeah, you collect Pokemon cards? Probably. I've always enjoyed firearms. I enjoy shooting, you know. And it's no different than somebody that likes to play darts or bowls or any of the other stuff out there. It's a way of challenging yourself. I have a real simple philosophy in life, and I've lived by this same philosophy for years. And I'll share it with you guys. If I can't fuck it, race it, or shoot it, I'm really not interested. you can use that. I'll go ahead and from the Stifler Intellectual Property and Future Product Development team, I go ahead and give you verbal authorization to use that. Yep, there's a CZ on here. That's the very bottom one, the shadow too. I carry when I'm not at work. But I work on a compound with guards, so there's no. I mean, it would be illegal for me to carry there, uh, but there's no reason. I knew somebody was going to say something like that. Is he really? That makes me. Is it one of the like Japanese guys or something? Have you ever tried octopus? Yeah. Japanese guys eat some really weird shit. Yeah, no, I'm not eating any either. I'm not a big seafood person anyway. Um, I've just never been a big seafood person. I've had like crab legs when I was in Virginia Beach. They were phenomenal. They were fresh. Um, in Maine, I had lobster. That was phenomenal too. I've tried it here, and none of that shit's fresh. It's all flown in and old. Um, when I was still riding the club, we'd go down Louisiana to Crawdad Fest, and you know the crawfish boils. Um, they were good. Yeah, so you eat a lot of seafood. You know, when I was like in Virginia Beach, I went out there to help a friend, and she picked me up off the plane. I'm like, hey man, I'm hungry. Let's go get some food. And she's like, cool. What do you want? I'm like, a burger would be great. And she's like, man, you're in Virginia Beach. We don't have burgers around here. We got seafood. I don't know how true that is, but the seafood was phenomenal. The crab was phenomenal. But I've never tried seafood, or not seafood, sushi. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not going out of my way for it. Like I said, it was when I've had it, it was because we were there, um, and so I tried it. It's kind of like in Virginia Beach. She insisted, man, these crab legs, I shit you not, they were damn near the size of my arm, you know, and I didn't even know how to eat them. She's like, well, some people use this like little nutcracker thing and bust them open. And I'm like, well, how do you do it? She goes, I just snap them open and suck the shit out of them. So that's how I ended up doing it. The crazy thing is, this was at a strip club. It was this place in Virginia Beach called Clancy's. And she picks me up off the airport. I'm hungry. We go to eat crabs at a strip club with these big monster. It was good. I mean, the whole place smelled fishy anyway. I don't know if it was from the crabs or the seafood or from the women, but I mean, it was all the same, right? All right, Chronicle drinking. Double tap that screen before you dip out. it was an adventure. Uh, there's some good stories that came out of that, but being I don't know who's all watching or listening. Um, we'll just leave it with that one. That was good enough. I'm not a big connoisseur of shrimp either. I'm sure that if I were someplace where they were fresh, it'd maybe be different. Um, like all the stuff I've had around here is always like soggy and I don't know. It's the texture isn't right. It just I don't know. I have American Bulldogs. I have three of them. Which caliber in Desert Eagle? It is a brick. The new ones, you can put the optics on them and shit. And the one I have here is one of the original Israeli manufactured, and they make an optic rail for them, but I don't know. I never put an optic on it. Mine's in 58. You have, um, I'm sure you probably have the newer one with a comp in it, right? Big old fat Picatinny rail on the top. Carpenter, I'll catch you again. Thanks for stopping. Double tap that screen. Consider subscribing to Orange Smoke, D-Dog Tactical, Stifler, all the guys. Uh, let's let's help everybody out. No comp. Deadweight, if you go to you gotta go into my channel to one of the shorts or something and leave a comment, and then I can find your channel and I will absolutely come check it out in your shorts. Uh, but if you don't leave a comment in there, I can't find your channel. I don't have a way of pulling it up right here. When I end the live, um, I lose the ability to go back and see who is all in the comments. It depends on how big. I appreciate. Even with that though, I don't see who subs. So the only way I'm gonna know who you are or be able to find you is leave a comment. Uh, so I mean, I would like to check all your channels out. I mean, I enjoy talking to all you guys and whatever else. And I'm not the know all be all. I make mistakes, but I just like to share and bullshit with y'all. Pocket carry options. It depends on how big of a carry option you want. Are you talking like one of the small subcompacts or micro 9 millimeters, or a revolver or what? Um, I'm not a big one of micro nines. Uh, he's laying next to me, and the other two are upstairs. In the live, uh, I don't put him in frame or let him get in the frame. I actually put the gate across, as I got a strike. I think the second live I did or third live I did, my dog walked in by the table here, and YouTube gave me a strike for handling firearms during a live. Uh, if you want to check out the channel, I can post something of them later on. Um, on my C channel, I actually posted a short with the puppy and his mom playing. Um, I was actually thinking about posting it on this channel, but if you're curious, I'll pop it up there later and you can check it out. I'm not even the Beretta Tomcat you're talking. I think Taurus has I don't know what Taurus calls theirs, but they have that. It's the flip up barrel. I'm not in Detroit, no. Yeah. So I don't know if you ever heard of the channel, but there's a guy called Overzealous Gun Collector. He has one of them little Tomcats. He did a review on it. I have a North American too. Mine's in 22 long rifle. That's something up close and personal, man. You know, right to the guts. Incidentally, though, and I think I told you about this, uh, we had some tracers. This was a while ago, but we had some 22 long rifle tracers, and so we were shooting it. Shooting at 200 yards, and it wasn't so much we thought we were going to impact it, but we'd be able to see the projectile right at 22 tracer. And I shit you not, by about the time it hit 30 yards, you could see the spiral going down range of this thing spiraling around, and it was probably a 3 to 4 foot circle. Uh, and it was cool to watch, and you could understand absolutely why you ain't hitting nothing with it. I don't know what you mean by unregistered. Um, so anything I buy uh, that's non-NFA, you have to do paperwork on. Uh, if you want to buy a registered machine gun, there's paperwork. Um, yeah, I bet uh, in my state, actual like firearm registration, we don't have firearm registration. I know a lot of states you do, like Illinois you do. In my state, you go fill out your paperwork, you purchase the firearm, you take it home, and that's it. All that registration is just, there's no reason for it. Orange Smoke, you said you have the 22 Magnum, right? I have no idea, and like said to someone earlier, understand this is a YouTube gun channel, and I can guarantee 100% chance that federal law enforcement watches these channels. It may be AI that's listening for people like you right there talking about switches, but they monitor, Reddit, they monitor Facebook, all that stuff, anything gun related. There's AI out there taking this information. The pug, yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, I try to remember, but it all kind of gets blurred together. Listen, man, I'm not gonna listen to that type of stuff. I don't condone it. Uh, so, you, sir, can go away. Yeah. So hit the road, James. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more. Listen, man, I have a house, a family, a couple firearms. The last thing I'm gonna do is do some stupid shit that's gonna put me in prison and take all that away. If you or anybody else want to openly talk about that, or even be a part of it, that's stupid. You know, I'm not, unless you're into like, so here's something. I have a friend of mine. He spent the majority of his adult life in prison. And he told me one day, we were talking, and I'm like, man, doesn't prison suck? He goes, let me tell you about prison. He said, the best and worst thing about prison. I'm like, all right, what's the best and worst thing about prison? He goes, the worst thing about prison is all the angry rape, all the angry anal rape. I'm like, well, yeah, I can see that being a bad thing. He goes, you know what the best thing about prison is? I'm like, no, what's that? He goes, all the angry anal rape. Because I've known the dude my whole life. I mean, I don't think too many adults out there don't know somebody that's been in prison. Yeah, I don't think I've booted this many people out ever. What country did you say you live in, Jacket? If I remember right, maybe it wasn't you, but I think you said you were from somewhere other than America. I don't know what you mean about I don't believe that either. Well, I'm not familiar with the Taurus Protector. I have one Taurus revolver. Uh, I don't remember the exact model number off the top of my head. I think it's like 657 or something, but it's a little snubby 7-shot 357 Magnum. That's a decent gun for what it is. Yeah, and you said that's in 357. I don't think I'd want any polymer. Um, oh, maybe. I mean, like the scandium frames and shit aren't any better or worse. I guess what I would say is if you're planning on shooting it a lot, that's probably not the right gun, being polymer. But if you're just going to use it for a carry gun, why not? I mean, it's going to be lighter. Yeah. Um, it's a L1A1. I don't remember. I mean, I'd love to. All right, Orange Smoke, I'll catch you another time. You be good. Have a good night. Pop some more videos. No, it's the sent me in G3. Um, Pretty big design difference. The L1A1 or the FAL or the SL8. Trying to think of some of the other variants that they were called. Uh, so Germany, here's some history, right? The guys who created the Sent Me C, they came from Germany after World War II. They went to Spain and they had worked on the Stormgewehr. Um, they went to Spain and multiple engineers, they created the Sent Me C. Spain was a little more friendly to Germans after World War II. After a while, things didn't work out there. They went back home to Germany, and that's when they created the G3, the 91, blah, 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 all the roller delayed stuff. Germany started creating their own battle rifle because the Belgians wouldn't license them the rights to manufacture that gun, which, why would you, right? 10 years before that, 15 years before that, whatever it was, these guys were designing weapons that were being used to invade and just kill their people. Um, so that's why Germany created their G3, their 91, their 95, all that stuff. That all came from the guys who actually worked on the Stormgewehr, went to Spain, left Spain, went back to Germany. Germany needed a small arms rifle and designed that because uh, Belgium wouldn't license them the rights to manufacture an FAL. History. You can actually get that. That's not something that like I learned on my own. That came from Gun Jesus. The Sent Me kind of sucks. it's a cool it's a cool historical piece, for what it is. That's um I had one. I bought it because I thought it'd be a cool gun to have. Uh but the thing didn't shoot, man. It was good looking. The wood was in great shape. It had a decent looking barrel, but I mean it was shooting like worse than 6 inches at 100 yards. Uh it just didn't shoot. That's the US Constitution in the frame. We the people. You read that right in the very top left, right? We the people. It's a copy of the Constitution. The L1A1s, the FALs, the SL8s, all them types of things. They are very heavy. So are the G3s. It was actual Sent Me. What's up? Hey. Oh shit. Hey. I'm on a live. Come home. What's that? I don't anymore, but I had a HK91, which is, my understanding, it's like the accurized version of the G3. That was a really good shooting rifle. I had that for a long time. The Century Arms Sent Me's, I know they were trash. But I think the barrels and stuff, and I don't know. I didn't have good luck with the one I had, and a lot of the ones I'd seen before that, during that, and after that were all trash. I don't think anybody's ever said they were accurate. It was a battle rifle. There you go. That's actually a BSA too, the British Small Arms with the L1A2 optic. That's an actual import. Was brought in early 60s. I don't know when the optic was from. I imagine it was something that got put together later, but yeah, the G3, it's a battle rifle, and they work. I should buy another one at some point. I will. I have a couple Colts. I have a mid '80s Colt AR9. I don't know if you're familiar with that. That's kind of a cool Colt I have, and then I have some Colt lowers. I don't have any full rifles anymore. I have a lower and then a Colt upper I put on it, but it wasn't a factory produced gun. It was just part stuff. Yeah, it's got the upside down pointer, and the um, tritium in it or whatever is long dead. I was told years ago, if you want to collect firearms, uh, and this was primarily with ARs, but a guy told me, he goes, always remember ABCs of gun buying. I'm like, what's ABCs of gun buying? He said, always buy Colt. I have no personal experience with the Sentry AP5. I do have a PTR MP5 clone, which is the same as that thing. That's all right, but the Sentry, I don't have any experience with it. I'm gonna do like a 5-minute warning at 5:30 here. I'm gonna shut this off. My wife's home now, and chaos will ensue. The early Colt Commandos are classic. You can't go wrong with them. Yeah, they just came in from outside. Now they're slurping down water. Like I said, two of them were upstairs, and the other one was laying a few feet away on the other side of the room. But Wisconsin. During the assault weapons ban, or like right after, I actually bought, and I didn't keep it very long, but I bought a, I think it was in 2005, one of the Colt SOCOM uppers. I ended up selling it like a month later, but that was a 14.5. But them early Colt Commandos are bad to the bone. I have Bushmasters. I like Bushmasters. I've never owned an Armalite. Don't let them out here unless they're going right upstairs. All Armalite Bushmaster Colts. Colt is probably still, or no, I'm sorry, not Colt. Bushmaster's probably still my favorite AR, as long as you get the pre-Remington or pre-Freedom Group model. I bought one last summer. I think it was like a 2004 to 2005 because it was post assault. But it's got the A2 carrying handle and government cup barrel, 1-9 twist, chrome line barrel. I enjoy that gun. My experience is the old Bushmasters, man. They shot. They were good shooting guns. Once Freedom Group bought them out, you know, and they got rid of all them guys, they were trash. And that's where Win-Am Weaponry came from, right? But, I mean, the Bushmasters used to always be a sure buy. If you wanted a good quality AR, that was what you bought. Colt was just the collector of the name of it, but Bushmaster was always kind of in my opinion, from my experience, was always the one to have. I appreciate it, man. Double tap that screen, consider subscribing. There's a bunch of channels I like to shout out, but if you don't want to subscribe or whatever, hey, thanks for hanging out and engaging. I appreciate that. On that Bushmaster I picked up too, I put a Midwest Industries rail on it. Not a Knight's Armament. But I put my Surefire M955 and I put my M68 aim point with the, I don't know what they even call the mount, the cantilever mount. That was all stuff I brought home. Other than barrel length and a third hole, that was almost an identical setup. A lot of people give me shit. They're like, "Oh, that was never issued. It was an issued item." I said, I know I've told you dead weight like a dozen times. Make sure you leave a. 'Cause I want to check out your channel. I mean, I'm just filling time, right? The very first AR-15 I had was a Colt, or I'm sorry, damn, good talking about Colts. You're getting me all messed up. Was the Bushmaster high bar with a 20-inch barrel. Exactly, it looked like a M16A2, but it was the A3, so it was removable. But mine was a ban era, so I had no threaded barrel, no bayonet lug. That was probably one of the best AR-15s I've ever had. for accuracy. It shot incredible. Yeah, they're not cheap. Any of the Colt snake guns have always been awesome. I honestly wish I had that gun back. The second AR I had was the Bushmaster. It was a 14 and a half inch, and it looked like an AK break, like the not Dragonoff, AK-74 style break. It had that pin and welded on it, and that was a flat top too, an A3 version. That gun was incredible too. I wish I'd kept that one. The third Bushmaster I ever bought was the Bushmaster Type 97 carbine 15, and it was a pistol. And that they sold that right at the end of the ban. Um, I think it was in 2004. I think I got it in the summertime. So the ban ended in like October, and I got it just a few months before that. But I still have the pistol. I don't have either of the rifles, and I wish I still had the rifles. They were nice. Yep, same gun. 1 in 9 twist, chrome line barrel. It's a good shooting rifle. Bushmaster knew what they were doing. I've never handled one of the Winham weaponry ARs, but people I know that have them, they say they're just like the old Bushmasters, and obviously they went out of business too. I think they're back in business, but yeah. So 500 bucks. When I bought mine, it would have been, I think in 2002, and I want to say I paid like 800 or 900 new for it. Came with one 10-round magazine. It came with their little weapon sling it had, a little Bushmaster packet. It was a hard plastic case that said Bushmaster, and a sticker. But it's phenomenal. Hang on to it. It's a nice gun. I still have the original Bushmaster 10-round magazines, the ban era compliant magazines. I use them when we shoot off arrests. Hello from North Korea. Well, at least ARs are easy to change a barrel on. If you're going to buy a barrel, the Croatian barrels are made in Wisconsin. They're phenomenal barrels. But guys, do me a solid, double tap the screen, give me some likes. I'd appreciate that. Anybody that is watching, all you guys that have joined into the chat, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day and spending it with me. I'm gonna get out of here because my wife's home, and I gotta go use the bathroom too. I got poop. But double tap the screen. Consider subscribing to like D-Dog Tactical, Patriot Arms 80, Orange Smoke, Dead Weight. All you guys subscribe to one another, subscribe to me, and we'll see everybody in our comment sections. So I'll catch you guys another time. Be good, be safe, and later.